Let's talk about the Padres. The Padres situation, beginning interviews with managers. Albert Pujols is no longer a candidate for the Angels job. Wow. Name has been withdrawn. He had a personal services contract with Audie Moreno. I don't know if this is a financial issue as to why they decided not to go forward, or whether it's just a lack of experience issue that they want somebody with more hands-on expertise having been a manager. Pujols is interviewing with the Padres. But again, knowing A.J. Preller, he will interview everybody. Also to be interviewed, Ryan Flaherty, Chicago Cubs. He used to be here. Nick Hundley, who took himself out of the Giants job. He is going to interview here. I'm led to believe Mark Loretta, college-educated guy who's got a lot of baseball administrative background and played for a lot of different managers. He's going to interview. I keep hearing Phil Nevin's name. His track record of success is kind of spotty in terms of being a manager. But again, he's a Padre with a lot of experience at dealing with the modern-day players. So those are hot names there. The Dodgers situation, they're already starting to churn what they're going to do in the offseason. And evidently, they've indicated to Michael Conforto he's not coming back to left field until they paid a volume of money to. And they're going to take some of that money, and we're led to believe they're going to go after Kyle Tucker, who's already opted out in Chicago, has told the Cubs at least he will test free agency. The Cubs do want to bring him back. So Kyle Tucker, who's had some injury problems the last 2 years, ex-Astro, ex-Cub, seems to be the front runner to maybe be the Dodgers' new left fielder. Giants have offered their managerial job to a college coach, Tony Vitello. This is interesting. University of Tennessee. Guy's a modern-day smart dude. His career record's like 341 and 141 at the University of Tennessee. Developed a tremendous reputation for developing pitchers. Anyhow, he's been offered the job that they are negotiating as we speak with Buster Posey. Tony Vitello is going to be the manager of the Giants, we're led to believe. Interesting story in Philadelphia. End of season press conference. I'm not sure why he would say this. Dave Dombrowski went public after the demise of the Phillies in the postseason because of injuries, saying, I don't know whether Bryce Harper can ever be an elite player again. Now, Harper's 34. Harper's got a lot of miles on the body. He's starting to have injuries pile up, forearm, elbow, shoulder, etc. Also, they're facing a major roster overhaul. Kyle Schwarber is a walk-free agent after hitting 50-plus home runs this season. Castellanos is evidently not going to have his option picked up. He's gone. Real Muto, power-hitting catcher, he's a walk-free agent. Ranger Suarez, one of the top young pitchers, he's a walk-free agent. So a lot of things are churning, but I don't know why Dombrowski would raise that question or make that statement. I don't know whether Bryce Harper can ever be elite again. Why would you say that? Last team is Colorado. Rockies are about to make a move to get a president of baseball operations to be the general manager. The hottest name is James Click. James Click is responsible for having rebuilt the Toronto Blue Jays. He's the assistant to the president. He was the assistant to the general manager of the Houston Astros when they built that farm system. He's a hot candidate. Also a hot candidate is Matt Foreman, assistant general manager, Cleveland Guardians. Cleveland has been a homegrown product for the last group of years. Foreman has kind of headed that minor league baseball operation. So those are the two guys. Colorado could name a general manager before the World Series starts at the end of the week. John, those are baseball headlines. Go ahead.
You know, you mentioned Phil Nevin, and that's actually the Billy Martin type I was talking about, man. Mm-hmm. You know, I mean, it's not going to be like, you know, crazy comical man like Billy Martin used to be at times, but he would be the tough guy, and he would go in and he'd get in the face of players that need to be gotten in the face of. And the same thing about going out on the field and fighting and defending his team in a different way than Mike Schilt. You know, Mike Schilt goes out there and just sort of throws his glasses to the side. I mean, Nevin would be like spitting in that umpire's face.
But Mike Schilt was never in the face of anybody in his clubhouse.
But that's what I think the Padres need. They need their guys. Like again, you know, Manny and Tatis are the ones that get all the heat. And their situations are different. Tatis needs an intervention, okay? But there's other dudes, like Cronenworth will kind of go radio silent on you for like 4 or 5 weeks at times, and yeah, so I just think Nevin is an interesting choice for that.
Okay, I'm not sure who to believe is the hot candidate. Although the track record of Ryan Flaherty, he's come so close to getting jobs prior, might make him the guy. I'm intrigued by Loretta. We're talking smart dude who's worked at a number of different levels. And I'm intrigued by Nick Hundley. I mean, this guy has moved around since his playing days were over to experience things and put them on his resume. But he's never been a manager before. He's only been a coach. So intriguing to see what direction Preller goes. And then again, we're going to get to the barbed wire in the middle of the front office. Is this hire going to come from the Seidlers and Grupner? Or will they let the baseball ops guy hire the baseball manager?
Well, A.J. Preller clearly has the most experience hiring head coaches or managers. I mean, how many people has he interviewed over his 11 years? A lot.
He talks to everybody all the time.
Yeah. And I'm just looking at his other list. Yeah. What's his name again? Kyle Tucker. Yeah. Will he go to the Dodgers? Well, of course he's going to go to the Dodgers. It's just part of the Hollywood script. I like the Giants interviewing a college coach. I think it's interesting.
Yep.
Because you think the college coaches would be kind of more apt to do kind of technical things in different ways, more apt to do a lot more hit and runs, or maybe even hidden ball trick stuff, The Phillies, JT Realmuto would actually be a really good fit for the Padres, a catcher.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I remember when he was a free agent before the Phillies signed him, Preller was sort of flirting with the idea of Realmuto, but the Phillies just gave him a wad of cash.
Well, Philadelphia's they got a big payroll and it didn't work, and now they got age and injuries. You're stunned that Dombrowski would talk about Bryce Harper that way. Harper's just a warrior.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, Harper is awesome, and it is interesting. He's always compared with Machado because they've been linked since they were little kids. But Machado hasn't had those kind of serious injuries that Harper has had. So I can see that, but that might be like a calculated little poke to try to get under Harper's skin to kind of motivate him. Maybe. I mean, what do you think?
I think it's unfair, though. Guy got a fractured arm. Guy blew out his elbow playing for you. Guy runs into walls.
He's injury prone. Then isn't that what you guys usually say in the media?
He's a 261 hitter this year, but he's got a lot of miles on him. So, but they're tied up to the contract for such a period of time. So why would you even drop that hint and try to insult him, considering you own him?
Yeah. I mean, it was unnecessary. But yeah, I mean, Philly, that whole organization sounds like it's getting flipped on its head. I mean, if you're going to lose Castellanos, I mean, and if, Harper's a shell of himself and Realmuto goes out the door, I mean, I think you're going to see other teams in the NL East are going to rise to the top.
Okay, that's all things baseball. Pull a page out of the notebook. You want to comment on some of that. We go from that